We buy a lot of plants from nurseries and garden centers. We bring them home, we nurture them, we invest a lot of time, money, and energy in it. But when the plant turns yellow or when the leaves start turning yellow, that is the most frustrating thing, and that stops us from buying more plants. Let us in this video today see how can we stop this yellowing of leaves and stems of our plants so that it doesn't stop us from doing a lot of gardening. Let's get started. The most common reason that yellowing occurs in our plants is stress. Now, stress can be due to different reasons. The first stress that I want to cover over here is moisture stress. Now, what is moisture stress? There is either underwatering or overwatering for your plant. So, whenever you see any yellow leaf, you have to make sure that you check the soil of the plant and you see if the soil is absolutely dry or if it is too wet. If the soil is extremely wet and soggy, then what you need to do is you need to immediately repot your plant, and you have to pot it in a very loose potting soil mixture with a lot of aeration introducing perlite vermiculite, because this shows that you have a habit of watering your plant a lot, and when you feel that you water your plants a lot, you have to make a very loose soil mixture so that the extra water easily drains out of the pot. Whereas on the other hand, if you are someone who waters very less and your frequency is very less towards watering your plant, that means the soil might be dry very soon. So what you can do in your case is add a lot of compost in your soil, because compost will help the soil to retain moisture for a longer time. And people who have this habit of watering less, they can also use coco peat in their soil, because that will again retain moisture for a longer duration, and this will protect your plant from either underwatering and overwatering, which is one of the most common reasons that plants go yellow. One of the other reasons that plants go yellow is lack of humidity or moisture. Now, if it is a rainy season, it is good, but if it is not raining at your place and if it is summer, it is dry, there are a few fussy plants which do demand moisture and humidity, for example calatheas. So if we cannot give them that correct level of humidity, they start turning yellow and crispy. So we have to make sure that plants that demand a lot of humidity, again like ferns, they are kept in a place where you do not have to give them water every day or spray every day to maintain that humidity. You can keep them in your bathrooms, you can keep them in the kitchen, so that the humidity level is okay all the time. Or if you do not want to keep them in bathroom or kitchen, you can also introduce a humidity tray, and you can keep your plant on a humidity tray, which is very easy to make. Just take a normal plate, put some pebbles on it, add water. Now the water level should be such that when you keep the pot on the pebbles, the water should not touch the pot, the water should touch the pebbles. So what we are basically trying is that water which is around the pot, which is not touching the pot, evaporates slowly, and when it evaporates, it creates that humid atmosphere for that plant, which will protect your plant from getting yellow and also turning crispy. The next stress that the plants face is because of the light. Now when there is too much light, if a plant receives more than what it requires, then obviously the leaves will start burning. Also, if a plant is not receiving enough light, what happens is the rate of photosynthesis reduces, because the plant is not getting enough light. Hence, because the rate of photosynthesis reduces, the plant is not able to make the proper amount of food that it should be making, and that results in yellow leaves. So again, if the watering is correct, light might be an issue. Please introduce your plant to a place where it receives light. Some plants they like direct light, some plants they don't like direct light. You have to search before you keep your plant at a certain spot, that what is the requirement of that plant, and then place it, because light is again a big issue. The next thing is temperature. Now a lot of plants should be good when they are planted in a pot, because they need to be in different places depending on what season you are right now in your country. Now cold and summer, that means hot seasons, I would say they are directly proportional to the color of leaves. For example, tropical plants. plants which are native to Brazil. These plants, they don't like a lot of cold, and most of the indoor plants, most of the house plants, they are native to Brazil. They are tropical plants, and when there is too much of cold, the tropical plants will go yellow. Now, what are tropical plants? Plants which require warm and humid climate. So obviously, if I like warm and humid climate and you keep me in a cold climate, I will not be looking very happy. So what you have to do is, if it's extremely cold, you have to bring these plants inside your house where it is receiving the correct amount of light and it is a little bit warmer as well compared to what it is outside. The next thing I would like to cover is, a lot of people, they keep their plants at a place where they receive direct air that is coming out from the air conditioners or heaters, or for that matter even under the fan. That air is not good for the plants, and it again results in brown leaves of the plants. These things will not give yellow leaves, but they will give brown leaves to the plants. So if your plant has brown leaves, these things can be one of the reasons. One of the most important reasons for plants getting yellow is again plant nutrition. Every plant requires correct amount of nutrition to survive. The way we need correct amount of food and diet every single day to function, similarly plants also need the correct level of nutrition. Now some of us, we love our plants so much that we tend to over fertilize them. When we over fertilize our plants, they will turn yellow. Or for the same matter, if we under fertilize them, let's say we have planted a plant in a pot and we don't give it any fertilizer, again it will turn yellow. Because if I take both these examples, if I overeat, not good for me. If I undereat, not good for me. I need that correct food. Similarly, your plant needs correct food. And roughly, I would say, if you are fertilizing your plant once in a month or once in a 2 month also, it should not turn yellow. But more than that, less than that, might give you yellow leaves. I would now share few quick things that can be a reason for yellow leaves. Any sort of disease or bugs in your plant. So you have to check your plants regularly whenever you have time, and you have to make sure that you spray some sort of organic insecticide so that your plants do not get any diseases. Now, a lot of people think that only when there is a disease, only then we should spray some insecticide. That's not the case. We should see these insecticides as vitamins. We should see them something like a vaccination to our plants. So we don't have to wait for that day when our plant will fall sick. What we can do is, once in a month, once in 2 months, we can just do a neem oil spray. We can just buy any sort of organic insecticide and we can spray on our plants whenever we have time, and this will keep our plants safe all the time, and this will avoid disease attack on our plants. The last one that I want to cover is, if you think that your plant is in the same pot with the same soil for a long time, let's say 1, 2, 3 years, then the plant might be turning yellow because it needs some fresh soil with a lot of fresh compost. So I would probably repot my plant. If it has been in the same pot and soil for more than 2 years, I would definitely repot and give it a lot of fresh soil and compost. And the last thing that I want to cover is, sometimes there is no issue but still the plant leaf goes yellow. It might be because of the natural aging process. So if the leaf is too old, it might go yellow. So that is again something which you can't stop. You just need to pluck the leaf and throw it in the bin. That's the best you can do. But again, a lot of times this is not the reason. Either it is moisture, or it is temperature, or light, or water. We have to make sure that we keep a balance. It sounds a very difficult task, that how can I do a lot of things, but trust me, once we understand the correct requirement of the plant, it is not that difficult. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do take care of your plants. Bring a lot of plants in your home, in your family, in your life, I would say, and you will have a very healthy life. Take care of yourself, stay safe, and a goodbye from M&M Plants for now, and we'll see you next time. Bye.